Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. Change up back in the forecast. Well, we have not seen those June gloom conditions going strong for quite some time, so we've had some pretty sunny days out there, but that changed up in our forecast today. We had the cloud cover start to roll in actually late last night, all the way through this morning, and with onshore flow picking up, reinforcing that deep marine layer, really socking in west of the mountains, so encompassing the entire coastal basin and also leading to some patchy drizzle at times. Well, we're still looking at that potential as well as some marine layer mist tonight through tomorrow morning. That's all with the deepening of the marine layer, as mentioned, extending all the way to the coastal mountain slopes. And so because it's a little bit more saturated, not closer towards the coast where it becomes a little bit more on the patchier side and we quickly get to the sunshine, that's why we're looking at those chances. It just cannot entirely be ruled out. You also have some stubborn clouds that could hold on into the afternoon hours like we saw today, and that was closer towards the coast, just not looking at an entire clearing, but we did see more moments of some of that sunshine by the afternoon. So this pattern on repeat all the way into the weekend. You also still have the elevated surf out there right along our coastline. We still have the beach hazard statement going until Friday night, and we have cooler temperatures. And that's all in response to onshore flow picking up, a cooler westerly breeze moving in, and so that's bringing temperatures down about 5 to 10 degrees below seasonal. That's across inland areas from the inland valleys all the way to the desert, and not much of a difference closer towards the coast as we continue to hold on to near seasonal temperatures. But then by next week, start to warm up a little bit more, and widespread 80s are back in the forecast across San Diego County. When we look at our overnight lows, you're still looking at widespread 60s along the North County coastline, and you also have some 50s added in. So you have 57 degrees, that's going to be for Fallbrook, so 50s inland, but 59 degrees for Escondido, also at 53 for Ramona, 50s right there across the mountains, and 71 degrees as an overnight low for Borrego Springs. Then we get right back to the heat, temperatures climbing by about 30 degrees for the desert. 101 will be the high for tomorrow. That's actually a little below seasonal, just by a few degrees. And then you have widespread 70s across the county. So getting away from the 84-degree mark for the inland valleys, that's what's typical for this time of the year for mid-June. Well, we're going into the 70s, and that's going to be 70s, really dominant upper 70s. That will be for areas east of the 15. So you have 78 degrees for Valley Center, 79 degrees for Ramona, as well as for El Cajon, and you still have those upper 60s to low 70s right there along the coastline. Speaking of the coast, as mentioned, we still have the beach hazard statement in effect all the way until 11 p.m. on Friday. That south swell is continuing, bringing in that elevated surf about 3 to 5 feet. And we've also had the higher surf right there along the coastline for Orange County. Still talking about rip current risk being high for tomorrow. So once again, if you're not a skilled swimmer, you're advised to not be in the water during this time frame. One more day when it comes to the beach hazard statement. It wraps up at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, and then the surf starts to subside over the weekend. So here's the setup. Why the June gloom conditions? Why the cloud cover back? That's because the area of high pressure is being pushed towards the east. A dip in a jet stream, area of low pressure that's nearby, that's bringing in a weak disturbance. But here's the thing. It's also reinforcing the marine layer as well as onshore flow. So that's why we're starting to see more of those clouds, and we're looking at these June gloom conditions continuing all the way through the weekend as this pattern is on repeat with this low as it continues to hang on. Then we have an area of high pressure that's right behind it. That's going to lead to warmer temperatures back in our forecast into next week. And with that ridge building, that's going to bring us above seasonal with daytime highs, and that will be starting by the middle of next week. In some areas, it's going to be up to about 90 degrees, and that's going to be by Tuesday, and still a triple-digit heat going strong for the desert. Another thing to talk about Sunday, not just Father's Day, but it's also the start of summer. So we have the solstice that's going to be taking place, and that will be on Sunday. And so that also is another signal when it does come to summer, spring, basically any of our changing seasons. So astronomically speaking, that is another sign of summer starting. Meteorologically speaking, we're already into our summer months. So you have June, July, and August. When we look at your extended forecast, you have the low 70s. They're going to stick around, so not a lot of change up really expected for the coast. Low 70s all the way through the weekend and into the start of next week. You have the upper 70s for daytime highs across the inland valleys. Then you're back into the 80s starting on Monday. Still a little below seasonal, but then you get back to those near seasonal temperatures, closing in on them at least. And that's by the middle of next week, and a whole lot of sunshine and about a week from today at 86 degrees for the inland valleys. You have the 70s until the start of the weekend. For the mountains, you're back into the 90s. That will be by Tuesday, but 80s really dominate by next week. And you have the triple digits still going strong for the desert, but warmer, especially when you're talking about 107 to 109 from Tuesday to Thursday of next week. So feeling a little bit more heat out there for the desert and temperatures that are going to be climbing a little above seasonal. I hope you're having a great night, and thanks for tuning in.